Hey guys, this is Lee Small, and you're watching CMS TV.
From their debut release, the band is Stars out of New York, who never had some great commercial success. They were big in the Midwest, mostly cities like Cleveland and Detroit. They seem to enjoy Stars, but
Sure.
they never really did a whole lot. They were kind of like the end of that whole glam rock era we were talking about, earlier tonight.
Right. How come it sounds so good when I hear it on the show? And then when I listen to it tomorrow at home, it just sounds old.
I don't know.
I do that with so many bands. I'll hear it. We'll play it on the show, or the fans will suggest it. And I'll hear it. And I'll be like, that sounds pretty fucking good.
Sure.
And I'll write it down. And then I'll play it tomorrow. And I'll be like,
I think it depends on the sound system that you listen to. I mean, if you're just listening to it in earbuds or something, maybe it doesn't quite have, the sound. I don't know what it is.
I just think it's probably that I'm more up, when I'm doing this.
Right.
When I'm doing the show, I got a lot more juice going. And then when I'm laying around in bed, it's like listening to it. I'm like, all right, I'd rather listen to Eagles. I know those songs.
Sure. Well, that's that one by request to Jackal in the chat room. And before that, we heard a band called Anthem.
Yes.
And they got a new CD out called Crimson and Jet Black. And
right.
Burning Down the Wall for Anthony Corallo.
Cool.
Them. And obviously we heard Stars. And who else did we play?
That is it.
Was
Dee Snider, Twisted Sister.
That was for me. Burn in hell, you Jalen fucker.
Jesus. It's not nice.
I know it's not nice, but we're not a nice show.
Poor guy. He was just minding his own business and he got shot 46 times.
If he was minding his own business, he'd still be alive today.
Just minding his own business.
Banging out fatherless children and all kinds of other things.
No, you don't have any proof of any of that.
I don't have any proof of that.
I think he was jumping out to change his tire.
Is that what he was doing?
Put the mask on to make sure that no grease got on his face.
Like that would make a difference.
Jesus God, dude. Holy smokes. It's all racism that I don't have to edit this time. It's great. I don't have to edit it. That's all I care about. I don't have to write it down because you didn't say the bad words.
Right, I didn't say bad word.
Yeah, you didn't say those bad words, so I don't have to edit it. So that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we were in trouble again this week a couple of times.
Really? What happened now?
Well, your friend, and I'm going to put her now since we're in trouble. Your friend Taylor got us taken off of TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yes. I put up just that one little clip of Herbie in the hole for the Terry Clifford.
Yes.
Taken down for community strike.
Why? What'd she say?
Nothing bad. I mean, she said something about you guys saw some fatties out there.
And that was it?
That was it. They took it down.
That's a word you're not allowed to use?
Apparently not. You're not allowed to disparage the fat.
Oh my goodness.
Even though you got a 400 fucking pound guy sitting here laughing right along with the joke.
Right.
But I guess even though I thought it was funny as a fatty, that you're not allowed to say it. She was not protecting my feelings here on the show.
I didn't realize that was a verboten word.
Yes, so we got struck for that. And then we got copyright out the ass for from YouTube, our friends at YouTube, for the synth rock segment.
Really?
Oh yeah, they instantly were like it was funny. They like when you get the alerts that something has been blocked.
Sure.
You get an email. So I was minding my own business on Tuesday and I got 21 emails all at once.
Wow.
This song this song, this song, this song, this,
Wow.
every one of them. And most of them were just blocking in Russia, which I don't give a shit about.
Sure.
But there was like I think there was 5 total that blocked us everywhere. So I just told YouTube, I said, fuck it. You know, they give you a choice. Do you want to appeal it? Or do you want to mute the song? Or do you want to edit it out? And I just said, fuck it, mute the song, because I don't give a shit about YouTube.
Right.
People that are listening on YouTube, go over to Rumble. You can hear it without the fucking minute and a half of blank dead air for 5 times during a fucking hour segment.
Okay.
But if you like YouTube better, then you can go over there and stay there with that shit.
Right.
You get a shitty segment. That's what you get.
All right.
But if you go to Rumble or Odyssey or BitChute or anywhere else, you get the real segment. So your choice. You could choose to have it the way it was presented, or you can choose the shitty second way. That's just easier. It's easier to click that button that says YT on it than it does the one that says R on it.
Right, of course.
Fucking dopes.
Well, speaking of dopes.
Yes.
So this week I was talking to our good friend Sammy Lee from Red Rain.
Me too. How about that?
I know. He told me he spoke with you.
Yes.
And I guess you're going to do some work for Red Rain.
I am already started at building the brand new super site for the Red Rain Band to coincide with the new album.
Well, it always comes around to you, does it not?
It does. I'm poaching another one. Here I come.
Look at that.
Here I come.
You know, they always go off on their own and go, well, you know, we already got a guy and he's already doing our shit for us and yada, yada, yada. And then it's, hey, Chris, could you look at our website? You know, we need a whole redesign and it's just not, you know, it
does happen a lot.
It's just not representative of, you know, the new push or the new record. And,
see, that's not the conversation I have.
I understand. I'm just,
you know what the conversation I have is? I can tell you the exact conversation. You know, we had a guy and I don't know where he is. And you know, he's got all the passwords.
Sure.
That's the conversation I have.
Right. So, so the new, so Chip Ruggieri,
yes,
who is representing Red Rain, who again, I hooked them up. It was me who hooked up Red Rain and got them on with Chipster Entertainment.
Yes.
And so Red Rain has a brand new CD in the can ready to go.
They do.
And of course, it's, well, when are we going to get this out? Well, you know, we're going to have to market this around, like, for what reason?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a record deal anymore.
Right.
You know, and it's a good record. I mean, you've heard it. I've got it.
Oh, yeah.
I've got it for a couple of months now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, so what are you waiting on? Well, you know, they're trying to make some kind of a deal. Is there a deal out there anymore? Come on now.
Well, did Sammy talk to you about the deal that was and then wasn't? It's
yes.
It's like, that just didn't sound very good.
Well, again,
I mean, I get why they didn't go with it. That's for sure.
I do too. But this was the same thing with their last EP was they put in all the work, they put in all the money, they put in everything that it took to make the record. And then somebody says, yeah, I want your record. Well, what are you going to do with it? Well, you know, I'm going to put it out and distribute it on my label. It's like, well, how much money are you going to put into promoting? Well, we don't really do any promoting. We'll just put it on our web space and say, hey, this is available through us.
Right. We'll put out a tweet. Here's a tweet. Here's a new record.
Yeah. You know, it's just like, well, we want somebody who will put some marketing into it. And, you know, all the legwork is already done and all the money's been spent. And we've already did all the, you know, the heavy lifting, as it were. So what's your end in this? Well, we'll put it on our website and make it available.
No, you know, $500 for a box of CDs.
Well, we can do that too. So what are you bringing to the table? Well, you know, you're on our label.
Yeah. Well, what does that mean?
Well, okay.
Where's your successful trend?
Right.
Well, we don't have that, but
please. Please.
I know, it's crazy.
So anyway, so the idea here is they have a good relationship with this lady that I met a couple summers ago. down in Richmond, Virginia, or down in Roanoke. Was it Roanoke, Virginia? Anyway, she kind of runs a concert venue down there, and she has some connections with local radio.
Oh, well, wow.
And Chip was just like, well, we can give it to her, and she can at least get you some airplay.
Right, that's good.
And he's like, fuck that. The Classic Metal Show gets it first.
As it should be.
Then we'll debut it on the CMS, and then we can give it to other people to play. So we're going to debut a new song, I guess, next week.
Okay, cool.
And I guess Sammy is supposed to come on the show.
Okay.
So that's the preliminary plan at the moment. But
well, if I can give Sammy some advice, don't look like an accountant this time.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Look like a rock drummer.
Did you see the Seth Williams show appearance?
I did not.
He definitely looks like an accountant.
I wasn't even aware he was on the show.
Yeah, he was on. I do a little segment for Seth's show. Another show that I'm involved in.
Right.
I do a little segment called the New Rock Minute.
Okay.
Or New Rock Moment, something like that. Whatever it is. But it's what it is Seth and I argue back and forth all the time that he's of the belief that there's no good music coming out today, rock music,
because he's not looking and listening.
Well, and that's it, and that's what I said to him.
I'm glad you said that because this is going to dovetail right into what I was going to talk about. But go right ahead.
Yeah, but that's what. So I started this segment where I just bring them bands every week, and I'm like, here, try this one, try that one, and then I do like it's like a 3-minute. I do like a little 2 to 3 minute talk up. Hey, this is Red Rain. They're from Virginia. They've put out this record, and now they're getting ready to put out another record. Here's a clip. Boom, clip out, done. So it's just a quick segment. So I just set it up so that Sammy could go on the show. Mm-hmm. Last week, and he did, but it was funny because Sammy showed up and I'll tell you, he looks like an accountant. He does not look like. I'm trying to find it real quick.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can't pull it up real quick. But yeah, he came on and they like flipped to him and he's like in his work office or something, and he's wearing the glasses and stuff. And I'm just like, what the hell, Sammy?
He's like, what's up there, Claxton?
Yeah, dude, he looks like an accountant.
Yeah, he looks like the guy who the angry banker manager. He got Claxton. Where's my reports?
Dude, I really expected him to come on to the show and then just say, yeah, I'm here from H&R Block, and this is the last week before your taxes are due.
Right. Get them done while you get a chance. I have a deal for you.
Yeah, let's see.
We'll file your federal and your state for free.
That's right. Where is this at? Let me just find. Oh, there's me. Wait a minute. There he is. Hold on. Look at this. You tell me the rock cred that's going on here with Sammy. Sorry, Sammy. You deserve your balls busted on this one, my friend.
It's funny.
Let's see here. Share screen. Sammy from the band Red Rain. Here we go. Look at this.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
You guys have toured with some pretty cool bands.
Yes, we have. Yes, we've been pretty fortunate.
Who have you been touring with?
Doesn't he look like he should be fucking, I don't know, filing a will or something with the clerk of courts?
He looks like he's the general manager for a baseball team or something like that.
Exactly.
He's like in the general manager's office. Yeah. But he's got his Van Halen Women and Children First in the background there.
Yeah, he does have that going on. I just was like, what are you doing with the glasses and stuff? I was like, dude, come on.
But your buddy Seth isn't looking much different though.
No, Seth definitely looks like he's he looks like he's just came back from stoking a fireplace or something.
He does.
He's stoking a fireplace. I don't know what Mike's doing here.
Is Mike is that his co-host partner? Yeah,
that's Mike Chiselka, who toured with Sam Kinison and was one of the Outlaws of Comedy.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's in the what's the big video for Sam?
Wild Thing.
He's in the Wild Thing video. Yeah, he's the guy in the green shirt, as I've been told, if you want to look.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, but that's Mike Chiselka, who's one of the Outlaws of Comedy.
All right.
apparently telling jokes is an outlaw on this show, but doesn't tell a whole lot of jokes there. But
All right.
Yeah, Sammy showed up and did a nice half hour though. It was a good half hour, just kind of sharing about the band. It's a new audience, it's not.
Well, Sammy's a good talkative guy. I mean, he
Sure.
can carry on a good conversation.
Mm-hmm. And like I told him, it's good to do that show because it's not this audience.
Right.
It's not the hail and kill fuck you pal audience. It's
of course.
It's the much nicer audience. it's the regular Joes of the world, not the fucking degenerates.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your friend Seth there saying he doesn't think there's any good rock music and so on and so forth. So since I was talking to Sammy Lee Saturday, or actually I was talking to him on Monday.
Okay.
And we were chit-chatting and he goes, hey, he was listening to Eddie Trunk on Hair Nation.
Sure.
And I guess Eddie does his show like from like 6 to 10 or something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I go ahead and tell your story and then I'll tell mine about this same thing.
All right. So Eddie's audience has to be the dumbest audience ever.
Now you're talking into my thing. Go ahead.
And the people who call into his show asking what so-and-so is doing. And Eddie just went on his squealing tirade about, did you ever hear of Google? If you're really a fan of one of your bands or your artist or whatever, go look them up. I'm sure they have a social media page. I'm sure that they have some kind of presence out there on the web because some guy called, hey, is Jakey Lee still doing anything? I'm such a big fan.
You're not.
I just loved him in the Aussie days and, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, ever heard of Red Dragon Cartel? No, what's that?
Yeah.
He goes, you claim to be a fan. You're not a fan?
You're not a fan.
You're not a fan! Exactly. So he went on a 10-minute tirade about how quote unquote fans won't take a minute out of their day if they're really fans to go look up their favorite band or favorite artist or favorite musician or whomever it is that they're curious about. And then they call into a, national satellite radio show and go, hey, what's Marilyn Manson doing since he was into lawsuits? And it's like,
well, why look it up and take 30 seconds when you can sit on hold for an hour to get your question off with the great one?
Exactly. So he went in and he goes, you guys aren't fans. You're not fans.
Well, good for him for at least telling him to shut the fuck up. That's good.
He goes, if it's not spoon fed to you and you can't, there you go. Whatever happened to Queens, right? If it's spoon fed to you and you can't just go flip on MTV, I guess they don't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we do a little bit of exposure here. I mean, we did Extreme tonight and a few weeks ago, we talked about the new Winger and the new Metal Church and the new LA Guns and the new, whatever is out there. We kind of give it a little preview and go, hey, this is out there. This is out there. This is out there.
And between the whole network that we have, not just the CMS, but all of the shows, you can pretty much find out what every one of these damn bands is doing because somebody's interviewing all of them.
Sure.
They're all getting interviewed over the course. If they got a record coming out, somebody's interviewing them on our dumb network.
Right.
You
mean I could tune into one of your shows and hear about this stuff?
What? You're kidding.
And
I thought it was just buzzing.
Especially Chris Aiken Presents because you have at least one or two guests on every single week.
We do. Yeah, pretty much.
And then you obviously do interviews outside of that too.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit. And all you have to do is look on Blabbermouth for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Well, there's that too.
It's like, what is wrong with you? So you're not a fan.
Yeah.
And then the one guy asked, he said, did you ever hear of Google? If you're such a fan, why don't you go look them up? He goes, Eddie, I'm old. He goes, how old could you possibly be?
Google been around for 30 fucking years. Come on.
That's your
excuse. Then use Yahoo, dummy. Yeah, use Yahoo.
Yeah, I just called you on a rotary dial phone, Eddie.
Yeah. I only have Netscape Explorer or whatever that thing was called. What was that? Netscape Navigator.
Yeah. I have CompuServe.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
I'm still.
I asked Jeeves. He didn't answer.
A fucker. So anyway, while I was talking to Sammy, he says, hey, somebody on Eddie Trunk said he found Eddie Trunk show through the Classic Metal Show.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there. I don't know if you have the clip or you don't.
I do. I have
Okay,
it.
good.
Do you have it?
I do not.
I do have it.
Okay, good. But I want to stop you right there before you play it. So Sammy told me this as well.
Yes.
And I went, this leads into exactly what you were just talking about, but it's a side story to what you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
So since Sammy told me about this, he told me about it on Monday.
Yes.
He's like, I was just listening to Trunk and I heard it.
Yes.
Okay. So I go to my Sirius, which I now have a subscription to, and I find the show that he would have said it on, or a show that I thought he would have said it on.
Mm-hmm.
And I download they have it set up that you can download it like a podcast.
I know, I got it.
I download the show. It's an hour and 46 minutes long.
No, it's actually 3 hours long.
Well, the one I downloaded was an hour. And again, I did not find it. What I did find was an hour and 46 minutes of headache. I have a different take now than I've ever had before on Eddie Trunk. Even though he shit on your shirt,
yes,
I think I'm going to forgive him for just about everything he does.
Okay.
Reason? Because the level of moronicness that he deals with on his show,
yes,
every goddamn day is unbelievable. Dude, this hour, and it was the questions you're asking times 100 of stupid.
I know. I downloaded the whole thing today. And I don't know how they're able to do this because it's the whole show with all the music and everything. And
where'd you get it from?
It was on a Dropbox. It's on it's on his Dropbox.
Oh, I did not know that.
All of the Hair Nation shows that he does on Monday.
Okay.
Are there. You can download this whole 3 hours. Well, I didn't know that either. I just stumbled on it.
Well, I went through the SiriusXM app, unfortunately, and I just went on and on and on. And he was doing something, and I think I might have been on the wrong show now. Well, because you're saying Hair Nation.
It's his Hair Nation show. He only does it on Monday night, and it's from like 6 to 10.
I was on Trunk Nation, which is the straight talk show.
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to have the guy that organized Power Trip on the Power Trip Festival.
Yeah, that's a different show.
Yeah. Well, I was on there. I didn't know because I don't listen to him.
Right. I don't either. But he said it was on Monday. So I looked it up and it shows Monday live. Right. It's Eddie Trunk Live as well.
Yeah. Which I went to the wrong show.
Okay.
And I went through an hour and 46 minutes. And he was calling it, since the guy bailed on him, the interview, right. He was calling it Free for All Monday, where anybody could call in and talk about anything.
Right.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. The questions were beyond awful. And then apparently a week, see, this is something me and you would never do.
Right.
A week or two ago, and he even said it a couple of times, it was from a week or two ago.
Okay.
They had some call-in show where guests could call in and say what their favorite top 5
album covers were. Yes, because the one guy who was on this Trunk Nation wasn't able to get through on that show.
Right.
And so he said, hey, Eddie, while I'm on here, can I do my top 5 album covers? He goes, yeah, go right ahead. You know, let him do that.
So you're going through all these horrible questions. Does Vito Bratta still play?
Yeah, that's another big one.
Jesus Christ. What's Mike Tramp doing these days? Is he still alive? I mean, it was just horrible questions.
Right.
But then at the end of them, then they would be like, oh, just real quick, Ed, I just want to give you my top 5 too. Grateful Dead, Tom Waits. I mean, it was like, and it wasn't like metal covers like people would know.
Right.
Any metal covers. It was all like, David Bowie, his second album, the one nobody bought. and Alice Cooper's greatest hits. And I swear somebody said Grateful Dead, but they kept calling with this shit. And then Eddie, some guy asked him, the 19th guy to ask him, is it okay if I do my top 5?
Right.
Ed goes, yeah, that's what free for all means. Do whatever you want. I was like, take control of your fucking show. Now I'm shrilling. Now I'm shrilling like Eddie. But it's like, take control of your show, dude.
Right.
Say, no, you can't do that. Email it in. If we get some good ones, we'll put them on the website or something. But that segment is a week old. That's last week's segment. We're on to this one. Good point, Kenneth here. No, that's the wrong button. This one. CMS callers aren't exactly, I know he's trying to say, aren't exactly good. And he's right. They're not. Tim James, called 14 times. But they're better than Eddie's.
Right.
Our callers are definitely better than Eddie's.
I mean, they talk about stuff. They don't go, hey, whatever happened to?
Yeah.
It's just like, did you look it up?
Hey, man, is McQueen Street still around? That would actually be an okay question because at least that's an obscure band.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you looked them up, you still could find the answer.
Well, I'm sure you could, but Eddie's people are like, hey, does Megadeth still tour? Yeah, I mean, they ask such stupid fucking questions.
No, and it's stuff that can be easily answered just by a little Google search.
Yeah. But the point is, I'm hearing these guys saying, I couldn't get through last week. So instead of Googling your question,
you waited a week.
You tried first of all,
you waited on hold on top of that because you did get through finally.
Yeah. And you tried to call for at least an hour the previous week. And in all that time, you couldn't find your way to Google.
No,
you had to ask fucking the great one.
Right.
What happened? So between that and then the other constant with Eddie, and I know we've hammered on this before because he does it even in small bites. This show that I listened to, I learned more about his 2 homes than I think his realtor knows.
Right, of course.
I mean, he was on and on and on about, I have my home in New Jersey and It's an hour and 40 minutes from the Jersey Shore. And I mean, this was answering a question about, this was beyond stupid.
Right.
The caller said, and I'll even accept this as a decent call. Decent, not great, but not terrible. The caller said, hey, Eddie, have you listened to either the new Overkill or the new Metallica records? What do you think of them? Not great, but okay, whatever. That's a decent call. Eddie goes, well, I took my daughter from my Jersey home down to the Jersey Shore, and we went down there and we spent the day, and I was driving my daughter crazy listening to the Metallica record because she's into K-pop, and I was listening to the Metallica, and I mean, it's an hour and 40 minutes from the Jersey Shore back to my home in New Jersey. That's different from my home in Las Vegas, because that's even further.
Right.
But this is an hour and 40 minutes. And I mean, just going on and on. Then he was talking about his basement and his studio in his basement didn't have power, and he wasn't sure he was going to be able to do a show, and they got to get that figured out because in his home there, they need power. I mean, it's just like in the home. It's like, okay, we get it. You got 2 fucking houses.
Yeah.
Aren't you incredible? It's like, fucking A, dude.
Well, his thing with the Las Vegas deal is, so many of the musicians and stuff have all relocated to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because of the opportunity to be able to play, and it's no taxes, and it's kind of like the hub of where to be and stuff. It's like, look, I'm in league with Stephen Piercy, and I'm in league with Vince Neil, and I'm in league with all these other people who have relocated to Vegas from the Los Angeles area, you know.
Well, he couldn't have been more happy to put up pictures on social media of him and Miles Kennedy and Wolfie Van Halen swinging by his place.
Yeah, we live right down the street from each other.
Yeah, I'm sure they swung by the place and didn't come there because the studio's built in his basement where he can do his fucking show.
Right, of course.
Yeah, they just they were cutting their grass and they said, "Hey, Ed."
Yeah, we're gonna swing by for a couple beers.
Yeah, got any beer over there?
Sure.
Bring some out back. I'll bring the acoustic guitar. We'll have a little jam. Sure, that's how it went. Come on, dude.
So funny.
And again, after we could goof on him about that, but after hearing his callers for an hour and 46 minutes, I don't blame him anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do that's worse than the callers he has. Nothing. He's just probably lost it. He's probably just been like, oh, this is what I get paid to do. Talk to these fucking idiots.
Sure.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah. I haven't listened to a whole show, but that I downloaded his Eddie Trunk Live from this past Monday's Air Nation show.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays some pretty good blocks of music there, you know.
Sure.
And he gets in and he does his little pontificating, and then he'll do a block of phone calls, which is just unbearable.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Because those callers are just so it's like so out of touch. It's like, where do you live?
Yeah. Well, try it with no music. That other show is 3 hours with no music. It's like it's no wonder he does interviews that are like an hour and a half long.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to go back to the phones.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. Just Free for All Monday was just fucked for all Monday. It was god awful. Just dummy after dummy after dummy.
Yeah, there's just so much information available out there.
Yeah.
If you could just go look for it, but apparently people are just lazy. They just don't want to, you know, if it's not just spoon fed to me in my, on my local rock station or whatever, I guess it just doesn't exist anymore.
Dude, I honestly think it is people that never grew out of the 14-year-old versions of ourselves.
Right.
Remember when you're 14, you wanted to call into whatever show and hear yourself on the radio? I'm sure that's all it is. They're 40 and 50 years old now, but they still have that same stupid dream.
Yeah, they want to hear me on the radio.
I am
on the radio.
Yeah, they're calling their ugly wife. Edna, listen.
I made it through.
I made it onto the trunk show. Do you hear me, Edna? And I'm using Edna on purpose because it's an old name. Because that's who they're married to. These old maids.
Mildred, not Millie.
Mildred.
Yeah.
Mildred and Edna.
Eunice.
Yeah, Eunice. These old names. Marjorie.
Right.
Hey, Marjorie, check it out.
Right. I'm on Eddie Trunk show.
Yeah, check it out, Marge.
Right. So funny.
Ugh.
Oh, man. So
Gertrude.
Gertie.
Yeah. Hey, Gertie, check it out.
Hey, Gertie.
Hey, Mavis.
Oh my God. Yeah, I couldn't sit there and listen to Eddie Trunk.
Oh no. Well, I tried looking for this clip, and it was a miserable 2 hours.
I listened to this today. You know, I fortunately this was downloaded with a wave pattern.
Okay.
So I could see where the music was and where the talk segments were.
Sure.
So I could jump right to the talk segments and I found it fairly quickly. Sammy told me, he says it's about an hour and a half in, you know, somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it was right at the end of the second hour.
Okay. Wow. I wish I'd have had all that information.
Yeah. So I found it.
Well, I'm glad you did, because I did look. I tried. And
well, some guy stumbled across our show because he thought it was That Metal Show.
Okay. Well, good.
Then he found out that Eddie has a show on Hair Nation by listening to our show.
Guess he couldn't Google that either, right?
No, can't Google that. Oh my God, it's hysterical. So you want to hear this guy?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right.
No. When they were performing on stage, they were still enjoying what they did.
This
Right, okay. Dressing rooms and all that kind of
talking
stuff.
about
And
Motley
they
Crue.
still got along and were everything, but they actually enjoyed going out playing and performing, and Vince's voice was still Vince.
Yeah.
Got you. I didn't know. I thought you were talking about record.
So what this guy was talking about was the last time Motley Crue sounded, like or looked on stage like they were getting along and seemingly cohesive as a band.
Okay.
Was when they got back together for Generation Swine, and for the shows that they were out supporting Generation Swine, they didn't appear to be using backing tracks, and they seemed to be performing live, and they seemed to be cohesive as a band on that tour, is what he was trying to say.
Well, hold on. Before you go any further with that,
yes.
I was sent this with the Motley Crue. I don't know if you've seen this or not. The Motley Crue.
Right.
But this is a pretty good example of them not lip syncing, I guess. Here you go. Check this out.
That Vince singing without even singing into the mic.
You want to see it again?
He's really good.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, look at that. Not even.
They just don't care.
Yeah.
One more time. Check this. It's so fucking bad. Here you go.
So bad.
So bad.
People still accept it.
Like, fuck it. Whatever.
It's Motley, man.
150 a ticket, 500 a ticket. I'm there.
Yeah, it's Motley.
It's great.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Studio. You're talking about the tour for that record. Got it.
Correct, sir. No Pro Tools or anything like that, which came later in life for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I don't remember. Thank you, Brian. And if you're in McHenry, if you're near McHenry in Illinois, come see me on the 13th. I
please.
can't remember if I even saw those shows on that tour. But that was a tough. I mean, what Brian's maintaining is that was probably the last time Motley Crue played totally live. I don't know if that's the case. I just don't know. But that was a tough period for them because it was the mid-90s. The scene had changed. Vince had come back. They made a record that had like an industrial vibe to it. Mick, like I said, Mick told me that was one of the times he almost came close to leaving the band because he was so unhappy with that record.
So were the fans, Ed. No one likes that record
Tommy
except
in Texas.
James.
What's up, Tommy?
Hey, how you doing, Eddie? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, I had two questions. Well, actually, I found out about. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I found out about your show through the Classic Noah show, because I got that name mixed up with your old show. And I also had a question: if there was two people you could interview that have passed on, Robin Crosby or John Bonham, which one would you interview?
Oh, dear God.
Is that an obvious question? Answer to that question.
Well, Robin Crosby, obviously.
Of course.
Robin Crosby, certainly.
So there you go.
If you could interview John Bonham or your neighbor, which one would it be?
Right.
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what. That guy's not like a CMS guy, is he?
I don't know. I don't know if he just stumbled across us because he was looking for that metal show.
Oh.
He apparently found us and then found out that Eddie had his show on.
Dude, if you found us and you liked us, stop. Just you don't need to listen anymore. Not with that question.
Right.
Are you serious? If you could interview John Bonham or Jason Bonham, which one would it be, Ed? My goodness. See, this is why I'm willing to forgive Ed for everything. Anything he does, I'm willing to forgive now. Because this is the horse shit that he deals with. He doesn't say, "What are you, fucking stupid?" Isn't that the answer to that call?
Yes.
The answer to that is, who would you rather interview, Robin Crosby or John Bonham? What are you, fucking stupid?
Right.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Not, thanks for your call, bud. It's a great question. Let me think about that for a minute.
Right.
Jesus. Come on, dude.
Hail and Kill call. You're on the air.
I'm wondering if, with Nuno Betancourt's new guitar solos, you think Gary Cherone would ever get back with Eddie Van Halen and sing with Eddie Van Halen again?
Good call.
Well,
Good call.
Eddie Van Halen.
That's a great call.
Playing?
Yeah. Is he still around?
Yeah. I haven't heard anything from Van Halen in a while. Are they going to record anything new?
When's their new album coming out? I've been waiting.
Right. I've heard rumor that they're supposed to tour this summer. Is that true?
Yeah. Sadly, that guy, as much as he's fucking with us and just being silly, that's the kind of call you get on the Trunk Show.
Right.
You would literally get that kind of a call.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed would be like, "Well, I talked to Gary when I was at the Joe Perry show in New York City. I was backstage at that show hanging out with Joe. And I said, 'Hey, Gary, come here. I got a question for you.' And I said, 'Gary, would you ever consider going back to playing with Eddie Van Halen?' And Gary said, 'Well, he's dead, right?' And I said, yeah, I know he's dead, but would you do it?' I mean, come on. That's Ed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's hear that one more time.
Remember can't remember if I even saw those shows on that tour, but that was a tough. I mean, what Brian's maintaining is that
I found out about your show through the Classic Noah show, because I got that name mixed up with your old show. And I also had a question. If there's two people you could interview that have passed on, Robin Crosby or John Bonham, which one would you interview?
Oh, John Bonham for sure. I mean, thank you, Tommy, for the call. Glad you found the show. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about a member of Led Zeppelin.
Are you really glad he found the show?
Probably give the same answer. I mean, not that he want to interview himself, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're talking about, I love Rat, but you're talking about one of the most top 2-3 bands in the history of rock and Led Zeppelin. So yeah. I mean, that's an easy, quick answer right there.
Yep.
I like my answer better. What are you, fucking stupid? And that's just what Eddie said. He just said it nicer.
Yeah, because the answer is obvious. I mean,
he's like, that's a fucking dumb question.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy in Texas. Thanks for throwing out the CMS if you're listening.
Yeah, thank you. This guy's dead on too. All their phones on that show sound like they're calling from outer space.
Yeah,
that is true.
And that's the other thing that I've often wondered. I mean, I've been taking phone calls on this show for the last 20 years almost.
Yeah.
And my sound system is way better.
And you have what, $100 dialer thing?
Oh, it's about $400, but
okay, but still, these guys are Sirius XM.
I know it's the original one I bought, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, still works.
Yeah, works great.
I wonder, you know what it is? Probably they're still using an analog line.
Probably
where you're using a digital
line. Yeah,
yeah.
I've been using voice over IP for almost 20 years.
Yeah. Can you play the Ripper Owens ID while that's on the screen?
Yeah, no shit. I'll find that real quick here. Let's see. I think
that's one of the most unexpected perks of this show being so long, because nobody can say that we piggybacked.
Yeah, and he did that. What, at the Download Festival or something like that?
Some big festival, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. It's in clips or something here. I'll find it real quick.
But that metal show has been plagued by us because we were first forever.
Right. It's funny. See, it's under either Ripper Owens or Tip Rippers. Let's see. Ripper Owens download. Here we go.
There you go.
We got one more for you! We got one more for you! And then we're all gonna go do any Trump show in the back, right? That classic metal show. It's the Green Revolution! With the Blue Frog Crowd!
So good.
That classic metal show.
That classic metal show.
He's got it mixed up there, or combined anyway.
Yeah, but dude, that happens all the time with those guys.
I know, I love it.
I see it in the comments all the time. You know, in the YouTube comments, people are like, "You guys fucking stole the name," and it's like, "Yeah, sure we did." Why don't you fucking pay attention?
Are you kidding me? Eddie came on this show to promote the launch of that metal
show. Exactly. Yeah.
He said it was akin to, what was that sports show?
Yeah, the whatever it was. Yeah,
something all the sports or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eddie, but dude, that is funny though, because that has haunted them for the entire run of that show.
I know, we were first. We were years before them, way ahead.
Probably 10,
at least
10 years. We were doing, or you were doing, because that's even before me. But 10 years, there was at least 10 years of the classic metal show. Yeah, the best damn sports show. Period. Good.
Yeah, that's the one.
Good call, Jason.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he said he wanted it a music related show that was like the best damn sports show out there.
That's right.
Yep. So and now I see that Eddie and Jim Florentine and what's his name?
The unfunny guy. Jamieson, Don Jamieson.
Yeah, Don Jamieson are regrouping and doing what did that rock show now?
That rocks.
That rocks.
The name is not good.
Yeah, I got to repeat to you though. He said this on this XM show here that I just played. He goes, but I got to stress that this is not that metal show. This is not that metal show. This is that rocks. This is me and Jamieson and again the unfunny guy.
Yeah, Don Jamieson and Jim Florentine.
We're just gonna get together and we're gonna do a show on YouTube and it's free and we're just gonna kick around some stuff.
Yeah,
and,
we're gonna do a new segment called "Is Trunk Stumped?"
Yeah, I mean, how much of a show could this possibly be?
Dude, it's just gonna be them just shooting the shit about knowing how these three guys are. Yeah. I mean, look, let's be fair to these guys. They do love metal.
Yeah, well, no.
So I don't want to shit on them like they don't belong in the game.
Oh, no, I'm not even saying that. It's just that if they're doing this remotely, like we're doing.
Yeah, which they are. They're using StreamYard.
Yeah, I know. But it's not going to be, like a show where like they had in studio guests playing music and, they had the hot girl, and all that other. It's not going to be like an audience participation show. It's going to be people watching you on YouTube and possibly chiming in or calling in or whatever it is they do. So it'll be interesting. I don't know that I could sit and watch it, but regardless,
I don't think they're even going to do call-ins.
Well, he said they can. Well, he said you can participate in the show. Okay. So who knows? I have no idea, but that's what he was saying on his trunk show.
Well, they put the first episode out.
Well, they put a teaser up there.
Yeah, you want to watch a little?
Yeah, let's watch the teaser.
All right, here we go.
The Three Stooges are back together.
Here we are, baby. We're back.
Wow.
What's up, Eddie?
Who knew there was this thing called YouTube? We could have done.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Is that Eddie sporting a Fu Manchu?
He is.
I didn't even recognize him.
That's Ed.
I didn't recognize him. I was like, who's the little chubby guy down in there in the screen with the Fu Manchu going on?
Yeah, that's Ed.
Oh, okay. Looks like he's kind of porked up again.
I think it's just the way he's sitting, because I've seen numerous pictures where he doesn't look chubby. I think it's just how he's sitting or whatever, you know.
Okay, fair enough.
But here we go.
Somebody
we've been listening. I know we've been listening to people suggest, why don't you try Netflix, Amazon Prime, how about Peacock, all that stuff. But we never thought about YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, who knew? I didn't even know about this.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because there's nobody putting money in it. That's why. These guys were looking for a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we didn't think about YouTube. No, you didn't think about YouTube because you were looking for a deal.
That's right. Looking to get paid to do this drivel.
Yeah, you were looking to have a show on a network, and it's not that you didn't think about it.
Yeah.
It's just that there was no money in it.
You know what this thing, and again, I started saying this and I didn't get there. This is what I envision this thing to be.
Yeah.
They're going to talk about one or two of the hot buttons of the week, whatever it is, in the world of rock and metal. They might knock down an interview here and there, but they're going to use this to plug their gigs.
Right.
That's what all three of them do. They're going to spend the last 10 minutes of every show with Jamieson talking about, I'm going to be at the Ha Ha Club in Maine, and Florentine's going to be like, I've been to that club. The owner of that place is great.
Right.
Well, I'm going to be at the Hilarities in Cleveland. Oh, that place is okay too. And then Eddie will be like, well, I'm going to be in the, I'm going to be doing my spoken word tour, and I'm going to be introing a band that doesn't use tracks.
Sure.
Firehouse.
I just think that's funny that Don Jamieson's got that metal show logo.
Oh, that Jamieson show?
Jamieson show.
Well, that's for his show that he does with Kumia.
Oh, he's still on there?
I don't have a sub anymore, so I don't know. But
okay.
But I think that's the background from that, I guess.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware, but all right.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Until just now, I just loaded it up on my computer. I had no idea.
Yeah, because you load up YouTube on your Never mind, Ed. It's okay.
All right.
It's all right, dude.
Oh, wait, we're not on TikTok? I thought we were on TikTok.
It's not you porn? I've never been on anything else. I don't know.
That's our next stop.
I got you porn premium.
What do you get with that, Jim?
Well, it's a tax write-off. I'm doing research for my stand-up act because I do a lot of masturbation jokes. I figure so I could write it off of my taxes. I gotta.
Oh boy. And he'll be in your town soon, people. Coming to your neighborhood. Oh my goodness.
My nephew says that he's still on Kumia's network.
Okay. All right. Do we want to be nice about this and say it's the first one and it is actually difficult to get your timing down?
Well, and I agree with that. The only criticism that I have aside from that is Jamieson needs to get on a mic and stop using the ambient.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Yeah,
because he's echoing like a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, and he's not wearing headphones either, is he?
Yeah. No. Well, it's hard to tell. He might be using wireless,
it might be
earbuds or something.
Sure, but yeah, their timing is definitely off. But the bad jokes, oof.
Yeah.
Just you guys are comedians. You know when something's going to bomb before it comes out of your mouth. I know every once in a while you're going to throw out one that just misses, but man,
sure.
Did they all three just say, okay, let's get all the bad ones out now? Boom, boom, boom. Because they all three told bad ones.
Yeah, we're jocular fellas.
Yeah. Oof. All right, here's a little more.
I got to see what's out there.
Jesus, it's like getting on a horse. Nothing changed, huh?
Oh, so I missed you guys. We haven't done this in a long time.
I haven't seen you in like 8 years. I don't even know. We didn't talk for 8 years. I have no idea, Never saw each other. Anyway, we should tell everybody that we are here and all together. And as you can see from our wonderful graphics, which are, we're in HD now. Everybody can say, hey, you weren't in HD. We're in HD. At least we got that.
Is that
But
what
we
people
are
saying?
That's what I was thinking.
Because that was the first thing that came to mind.
That was what I was thinking too.
I
Was
thinking, hey, they're in HD.
Holy smokes, that can't be those three guys. They were fuzzy before. Now they're
Right.
clear.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
reunited, and we are going to have some fun every week with this new show that we're doing called That Rocks. And we're going to say right at the top, it's obviously not That Metal Show. The biggest difference is it's in HD. But outside of that, there's going to be other differences too.
Well, the biggest difference is you're not in a studio and you're not together in one room, and you don't have any production, and you don't have any money behind you, and you don't have an audience. So there's a lot more than just that.
Let's make some suggestions right off the top. Eddie, first and foremost, I don't know what piece of shit laptop you're using, but 32 to 64 gig of RAM, my friend. That's the first thing. And second thing, upgrade your internet, my friend. Same with you, Jim Florentine, because you're both freezing up because your computers cannot handle you plus the other two guys. So update your computers. That's the first thing. And of course, Jamieson, get a mic. But go ahead. Here we go.
We're just going to kind of have some fun every week talking rock music with everybody.
Yeah. We're going to, you're going to see some stuff that, of course, we're going to debate. We're going to have lists, we're going to have all that stuff that you remember, and hopefully some great special guests. Ed, tell them who the guest is for today.
Well, my assumption is he is not wearing some kind of headphones because he's having to yell at whatever ambient mic he's got. So,
Yeah. Well, and whoever's the main broadcast guy on this, I don't know who the lead is. They got to get a better computer.
I agree.
That's why all three of them keep freezing up, is because their lead. That's why me and you almost never have freeze up like we did last week, which was a total anomaly. And it was because I hadn't rebooted this computer in like 3 months.
Yeah. And I upgraded these studio computers a year ago with 32 gig on each.
Right. And this one that is the main, it's the main broadcast kind of,
right.
Pushes the signal. This one is, the highest end Apple. It's absolutely the highest end Apple makes, and it has 96 gig of RAM. And that's why we always come off pretty clean. Good. Because we got so much RAM and so much power behind it that it just doesn't hitch.
And it's a good idea to have a good camera instead of using the one on your laptop.
Yeah. Although I use the one, this is the built-in one, believe it or not.
Well, yeah. But it's the high-end Apple though.
Yeah. It's the highest end Apple. I think the camera is 4K or 8K or something.
Like an iPhone camera, element in it.
It does. It definitely is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But enough about us. Let's go back to these.
Hang on. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill. How are you guys?
Hey, there's Tim. What's up, Tim?
I think that this will get quite a big audience.
Well, and how do you come to that assessment right away, Tim?
Well, I reckon that I'm a huge fan of Eddie Trunk.
All right. There's one listener, one viewer.
But I mean, he's got a very, very popular radio show, and I guess when it was out, That Metal Show really rated well.
Did it?
But I don't
think it did, because if it was rating well, it wouldn't have got canceled.
It would have got picked up anywhere else.
Right.
But the thing was that they did have like 15 seasons of it or something, didn't they? They had a whole bunch of seasons.
Well, it wasn't. Well, see, what years ago a season meant like a whole year. Now a season is just like 3 months or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's like 10 episodes. But if it was that great, somebody else would have picked it up after they got canceled, and nobody wanted to touch it.
And this being said, I'm not going to disagree with Tim. This is going to do fine.
It'll be okay. It'll
do 100,000 views an episode.
It'll have a niche audience for sure.
Yeah, they're famous.
But
What do you want? If you put any jackass that's half famous in a chair, they'll fucking draw 30,000 views. Doesn't make it good,
yeah,
Tim.
but also, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm excited about it.
I'm sure you are.
Part of the reason I'm excited about. Well, no, but part of the reason I'm excited about it,
Yes,
is because I live in Australia,
yeah,
and for example, that metal show wasn't, didn't really. I mean, I think it ran here on some cable networks or something, but it wasn't readily available for like Joe public to watch it.
So what did you
You know
miss
what I
by
mean?
not seeing it, Tim? It just rehashed a bunch of stuff you already knew. I mean, you're as much of a musicologist as these guys are.
I wish.
You are.
I mean, I don't know, man. I have to disagree there. I think
Goodbye, Tim. Jesus.
Thanks, you're pontificating.
My God. His manager saw his feet smoldering and just fucking had to yank him out of there. Holy cow. What a crash and burn that call was.
Right.
Tim, get your ideas together. He's not wrong that it's going to do decent YouTube numbers, but so what? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Here's the real truth to it is there's a zillion podcasts out there that are going to do it better than this.
Right, of course.
And I ain't even going to say we're one of them because we're not really going to do what they do.
No, we just do what we do, but
yeah. I'll watch it. I definitely will watch it looking for material, of course, but I will. As I've said all along, Eddie does decent interviews. I don't have a problem with him doing interviews. And Jamieson's show on Kumia wasn't that bad.
Right.
It wasn't awful. It just was what it was. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't awful either. They're metal guys. They want to talk about metal. I'm always for that. If they can bring some audience back to it, cool. But to expect this thing to be like stellar, I don't know. I just don't see it as more than a plug fest. I really don't. I honestly see them just plugging.
And I'll agree with you. It's just the vehicle to hey, this is what I'm doing now.
Jason in the chat. Do I like Jim Florentine? Florentine's okay. Truthfully, I don't actually hate Don Jamieson either. I just don't find his comedy albums to be funny.
Florentine's pretty funny.
Florentine's funny. And when the two worked together on like Crank Yankers and stuff, that was funny.
Yeah.
Crank Yankers was good. Trunk's not funny, but he tries to be.
Right.
And that's kind of a flaw that they should just correct.
Yeah.
Trunk needs to be the Opie. Just direct traffic and that's what he needs to do. But,
sure.
You want more of this?
Just a little bit.
All right, here we go.
What do you mean, guest?
You didn't book anybody?
No, me book anybody. I am. No, there's no guest.
Your job.
No, it's not my job. There's no guest. It's
No,
just
this
us.
is just gonna be. Yeah, it's just gonna be like a test show today. Just tell every people we're back. This thing's gonna start soon. We're not exactly sure watching this, but we'll put it out there. And it's going to be interactive where the fans can chime in on, what we're talking about, what our picks are for whatever album or whatever we're going to do. We're not sure. We'll Skype in a guest. He'll come in. It'll be an hour and a half show, whatever it's going to be. It'll be live, whatever day and time it's going to be. And it'll be at that time every week. And, we couldn't get a studio to do this. And it just doesn't cost, $250,000 an episode to do. So we figured let's just do it this bare bones. And it's all about talking about the music and us three idiots. So I think it's going to work.
Look, the bottom line is,
well, he at least has a firm grip on what it is.
Yeah, it's not a money maker, and you're not you got some kind of a deal.
Yeah,
some kind of a TV deal, man.
Mm-hmm. So
they'll make a few shekels on YouTube, perhaps, and split a check of $10 a month between them. And,
it's a vehicle to plug their gigs. That's the bottom line. That's what it is. And hey, more power to them. I don't know about lists. I'm totally not a guy that likes lists. I hate doing those kind of shows.
Yeah, it's just subjective. It's just like, this is what I like. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But hey, more power to them. Good luck, boys. I hope you do well. And make sure that you get a bunch of stuff here going so that I can post our new show, The Classic Metal Rocks.
Right.
I'm gonna register that right away and put that.
No, it's That Classic Metal Rocks.
That Classic Metal Rocks. I have to get that right away. Wouldn't that be funny if I did that and just pointed it to our show?
Sure.
That Classic Metal Rocks.
Alien Kill Caller, you're on the air.
I'm just wondering what you guys think. Do you think Bon Scott would ever work with Agnes Young again? Fuck you, pal.
Good question. It's a good question.
Thanks for calling.
I just got to tell you guys, that's an interesting point. It's one I hadn't thought about in a while, since Bon died, actually.
Right. Good call. Good call.
It's a good call there, though. It's an interesting point. Let's think about that for a minute. I know Brian Johnson, and I've been wondering for years what would happen if Brian left. Maybe they could bring back the ghost of Bon.
Sure.
It's an interesting art. We'll take your calls. Please. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Here's a good question. Steve Clark going to come back and play for Def Leppard? Good call.
I heard he's in rehab, getting ready to get back out on the road.
I heard he's been napping, but he's getting ready to wake up.
Yep.
That's what I hear.
Yep.
Jeez, oh man.
Right, fresh as a daisy after pushing up some.
That's exactly right. Oh boy.
All right, I say we take a break. I'll let you pick a tune.
All right. How about from the Shrinking Violet record? We go with LA Guns.
Wow.
With Bad Whiskey.
Mm.
Just because I heard this song and I was like, God damn, forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Jizzy Pearl.
Yep.
It's the Jizzy Pearl release.
It is. That's right.
Yeah. I'd actually like that record.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, LA Guns.
Joey H. They are not, at least in the form they are now, they are not getting a big Spotify money deal.
Not.
Stop it. Stop it. Joe Rogan had to build it. Well, maybe after a few years they'll get that, but I doubt it. I seriously doubt that's happening.
Nope. I think Spotify blew their wad on Joe Rogan with the kind of money they're paying him.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're not getting that. Come on. Crazy talk.
Right. All right. Well, we'll play a few tunes here and we'll come back and we'll do the sponsored segment of the show.
Ooh.
And did you want to do the Landau in that segment or what did you want?
Whatever you want to do is fine with me. I don't really have an agenda tonight. Not a hard one. I don't. I'm just kind of.
You've been pretty active with the agenda the last few weeks.
I have, but I have some stuff, but we'll see where we get to. We could definitely talk about the Landau stuff.
Okay. Well, you're closer to the camp than I am, obviously. So, I'll let you. We'll pontificate a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll talk through it.
All right. Well, we're going to play a few tunes. This one comes from LA Guns, Shrinking Violet, that featured Jizzy Pearl on lead vocal. And this is Chris's pick. This is called Bad Whiskey, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.